Is mental illness a state of mind stemming from experiences that the individual had, or perhaps it's due to the surroundings of the person? Or maybe they're just born with it. The Ichinose Family's Deadly Sins by Taizan 5 is a new manga running in Weekly Shonen Jump. A mystery drama set in modern Japan, Ichinose Family opens with a teenage boy, Tsubasa Ichinose, awakening from a coma in a hospital, surrounded by his family. Quickly, he realizes that he has absolutely no memories. He isn't aware of his own name, his friends, or his life before the accident comatized him. Quickly, we come to realize that the whole Ichinose family is suffering from a form of amnesia. They frantically work together to try and figure out what came before the accident. After returning home, the other family members, mom, dad, grandparents, and sister Shiori are tipped off about their grisly past. Their home is strewn with garbage, very little food in their cupboards, and 6 separate bedrooms for each individual. The Ichinose family soon realizes that they may not be the idyllic Japanese family that they were hoping to be. Authored by Taizan 5, the enigmatic writer-artist duo behind the breakout hit Takopi's Original Sin, Ichinose starts off with the same bleak sense of dread that Taizan has quickly become known for across their work. When Captain Tsubasa enters his home, he's shocked to see the state it's in. Is this a reflection of their mental state before the accident? What was his relationship like with his family before the memory loss? Many questions arise in the opening chapter of Ichinose, and even more come about when he reattends school, only to find that his classmates aren't actually friends, but bullies, targeting him for some odd reason. Ichinose is a new release in Weekly Shonen Jump. It came out at the end of 2022 alongside a whole batch of new manga from industry veterans and newbies, but in my opinion, Ichinose is the strongest of that batch. Taizan took the manga world by storm with Takopi's Original Sin, a 2-volume manga that explored very heavy topics not usually seen in shonen. Bullying and domestic disturbances are very common in manga, especially lately. However, Takopi went even further, examining preteen suicide, gaslighting, homicide, parental infidelity, and more. The sci-fi slant was great, and the religious undertones were a familiar twist, yet one that isn't often looked at with modern manga. In many ways, Ichinose feels like a spiritual successor to Takopi, touching on most of the aforementioned themes, but taking a lighter, slower-paced approach to the plot reveals. The early chapters have a mood of impending doom, and as the reader gathers more pieces about what led to the Ichinose's car accident, the mystery behind this denuded family is brought closer to the surface. That is, until everything is ripped away. Ichinose is a very peculiar manga. I definitely feel that Taizan was given the okay to take his time establishing the story. If you compare Ichinose to other recent Weekly Shonen Jump series like Ginka and Luna and Tokyo Demon Bride, you'll notice that it's a much slower, downscaled manga that waits 10 whole chapters before the first significant plot point hits. And while it can be frustrating at times to watch Tsubasa go on family surveillance or have power of friendship moments with his classmates, the evil and pain of this series is constantly hinted at. The strongest takeaway from the 10 chapters released so far has to be Taizan's artwork. That sketched out, lopsided, river of tears aesthetic that defined Takopi and Hero Complex is still here, but the 3-point perspective is spammed almost non-stop. There's also a lot of 1.5 and double spreads, which is not something that I like to see used more than a couple times in each chapter, but I can't really complain about that. Taizan has like 30 chapters of manga to his name so far, so maybe that's just his art style. I shouldn't hate, cause Ichinose looks to be something very different from what we've seen in Shonen Jump over the last few years. The shift from battle shonen to denser series like this has been a surprising but welcoming change, and I'm sure Ichinose will stick around. I haven't been this intrigued by a first arc mystery since Promised Neverland. There isn't much to go off of as of yet, but I'd recommend this series to anyone, regardless of what your reading tastes are. Let's see where this manga goes. 7 out of 10.